Okay, morning guys. Okay, so we wanted to do a bit of a walk around of our JMACX 300 series. A lot of people come and ask us, you know, what we've done to our 300. Our 300's used for our daily touring and obviously as our work vehicle for testing. So we do quite a bit of different things with it, and everyone has their different uses. I think for the 300 series for us, it's a great all-rounder for a daily and a tourer and a towing vehicle. So it does suit a lot of people. Obviously, GVM upgrades with 5-seat variants. We'll also work towards a 7-seat variant coming in the future. But obviously our 3.8 and 4.2 GVM. So on our particular one, obviously we've gone the 4.2 ton GVM now. We'll go through, there's gonna be another video come shortly, and we're gonna show you some loading videos and some weights to give you some ideas on those things. But for us, a couple of things we wanted on our vehicle was the guys at Kaymar have produced the rear wheel carrier and rear bar for the 300 series, which was a perfect choice for us. It has a really streamlined finish, so it looks really neat. Obviously, if you don't require the jerry holder, you can actually unbolt that, take that off and just have a single carrier, or you can have dual carriers. So sometimes having the two on the back when you're not using it is painful to get in and out of the car. So swapping to a single rear wheel carrier for a daily is ideal. So we just basically unbolt that. The number plate has a harness, it can move to there, etc. Big thing for us, another reason why we need the rear wheel carrier is to fit a 35. So obviously now with the 35s and the 3-inch, etc., that tyre doesn't fit under the car, so we needed somewhere to put it. Side note too, on the Kaymar for 35s, and we go back to the boys at Kaymar and give them some feedback on this bar. Obviously 35s are not the norm. We're looking for, you know, we're pushing outside the normal, but we do have to modify slightly the back wing of this so we can push the mud flap further away from the tyre. And that's due to the fact that we have such a big tyre in there now, and basically we're just going to modify the back of that, and we'll just notify Kaymar. That might be something they will consider moving forward, or they may not and say, look, if you're running a 35, but the simple thing is you can unbolt that wing, modify it, repowder coat it, and you're off and racing. So on the inside, obviously, on all the GVMs, you've got to run this reverse light. Yes, it's not pretty. Normally we have a black bracket, but unfortunately that's where your number plate goes. With the Kaymar, you don't technically need it because it does move all your lighting. So, but on the rear, we have the guys at RV Storage Solutions have made us a rear platform system, so, and a cargo barrier. So the idea for us with our LCT exemption advice that we give to make these cars compatible for LCT is not just the GVM being a load carrying vehicle, it's also that they are a designated work vehicle. So they actually have a workspace, they have load rated tie downs, cargo barrier, these are a work car, and hence that's why we do the things that we do to get these to where they need to be. So basically that's us, so nice and easy. You know, we might potentially down the track put drawers, fridge, whatever in the back, but for what we use it for, this is ideal. We're using the Method 310s. Now, wheel and tyre choice for us is always based around load rating. So for us, load rating is important. We have a 2,800 kilo rear axle load rating, so we need those wheels to meet that load rating, and the tyres as well. That video that we're going to show you later, we're going to show you why you need those high axles. So, you know, for those people that are going and getting a 4200 GVM with a factory diff with nothing done to it and a low axle rating, it won't work. Doesn't work, and we'll show you why it doesn't work. So you've got to have a high axle rating with your GVM, otherwise you might as well you're wasting your time. Phat bars, so we wanted some side protection, very important, I think, alloy body on these things. So Phat bars make a good solid side step, so you know everything's going to hit that. It's going to protect our sills, protect our doors, protect us from other people opening their doors as well, which is where you get most of your dints from these days. Big one for us, what bar? We don't do a lot of driving at night out west. For us, kangaroos and stuff, not probably a biggest issue, but we wanted some front protection. Obviously, also to clear your 35s. Your 35s will not clear on the OEM bumper. So you're going to need a bull bar or a bumper replacement that's going to clear those tires. So for us, the Ironman raid bar, this was the first one to land in the country, but it has all your lights in it, LED light bars, everything. We don't have to run additional spotlights, etc., to do what we want to do. So for us, this works really well for our application. If you want to run an ARB bar, you do have to modify the bash plates to clear 35. So your bull bar choice comes back down to, is it compatible with everything else that you do? Another big thing for us on that 35 space is also our flares. So the OTA flares for the 35s and the mud flaps. So that's a critical part because you've got to clear your tires and cover your tires for legality. But you also want to stop rocks and things from, you know, damaging the side of your car. So OTA flares, Australian made, great product. So that's what we specify with all of our stuff. Matty and the boys at Just Autos have remapped this car. So what we basically did, they did their new heat exchanger on the front. So heat exchangers there to keep those temperatures down, especially when you're towing and things like that. That is perfect for your 300 Tourer. So, you know, if you're looking at using your 300 for a Tourer, we highly recommend that you go down that heat exchanger path and the retuning of this. So this particular vehicle on 35s at all four wheels, we picked up another 100 horsepower more than the OEM. So this thing punches out about 280, I think it is, horsepower at all four wheels on 35s. Massive difference, absolute rocket ship. So the boys at JA, Airbox, heat exchanger and a remap. We've just taken this thing up towards North Queensland, only towing a small boat, but absolute rocket ship. You know, they literally fast, agile, great performing vehicle. Our particular vehicle now, we've also, in exhaust wise, we don't, we're very anti DPF removal from a legality point of view. So for us, legality is very, very important to make sure that we're ticking all the boxes, not just from a compliance perspective, but also from, you know, insurance perspective to make sure that you are legal and compliant. So we run our DPF back Torqit exhaust, keeping it legal, but, you know, making sure it's the best Tourer that it can be. Now, I suppose the biggest highlight of what we do on a 300 series would have to be our Alpha Series shock absorbers. Now, Alpha Series shock absorbers are made here on the sunny coast by us. They're all built here, Aussie made. Obviously, national support network through your JMACX dealer. We also have servicing agents around the country. We're starting that through. We got one in Melbourne, working for one on Perth, etc. But the big thing, I suppose, is the electronic in-cab adjustability. So we'll just run around the other side and we'll show you that. Most guys will buy electric shocks, manual adjusting shocks. So there's plenty of adjustable shocks on the market. But what you'll find is, okay, so you're driving your car, you're empty, you're unloaded, you want to drive around, you're city driving, whatever, and you want to set your shocks on soft. So you'd have to get under the car and adjust those shocks, or reach in under the wheel well and get to where you need to. The problem is, you know, if you're driving along, let's say we're touring, for example, and we're on bitumen, we're doing fairly high speed, you know, we can have those shocks set to be quite comfortable. Then we might turn around more stable, then we turn around and we hit corrugations or we hit really rough road. You know, people won't stop and adjust their shocks. They're not going to stop and adjust it, you load, you unload, you're not going to stop and adjust the shock. So are you really getting what you paid for out of your shock absorber? You're kind of not. People go, I say to people, okay, so you've had adjustable shocks, do you adjust them? Oh, look, I bought them, I played with them for the first week, and then I'm like, whatever. So you're not really getting your bang for buck out of it. So on the JMACX Alpha series, on your electric control, we can basically go here, we got rear. We can adjust the rear all the way down, all the way up. We can go across. We can adjust the front. Now we can also put that into full active mode. Now what it will do in active mode, it will adjust as I drive. So as I throw it into the corner, it will adjust. So it works off G-force. So very, very intelligent system. The other side of it is JMACX Alpha Series have 3 times more adjustability built into the shock absorber. Now the reason that we do this is because we do specialize in GVMs, and the weight of our car can vary. So if we take this car from 3 ton unloaded to 4.2 ton, the shock needs to do more work to control that load. So how's it going to do that? 30% more load, so you need more adjustments. So that more adjustability is here, but it's at the flick of a switch. You can do it while you're driving. Obviously we don't recommend that you do it while you're driving, but you know, you can do it on the fly. So as you drive, so you're going to get that benefit out of what you've purchased. So that's really, you know, our electric series is an industry first. We were the first ones to bring this to an Australian market for four-wheel drives, for other companies to copy and raise the bar. But at the end of the day, Japanese technology for all of our electronics and Aussie made for our shocks. So no Chinese made shocks, all Australian made, fully rebuildable. So 50,000 Ks, get your shocks serviced. They can be fully rebuilt. So they're the last set of shocks that you will put in your car. They will last the life of your car with servicing. So something to look at. But that's our build. And this is our build for what we want to do, and it suits our purpose. Everybody has a different idea of what suits them, but you know, you can run 2 inches of lift and 285s or 265s. We can do a leveling kit at 3800. So you can. There's all those options are there. I probably would throw it out to people if you're looking for a GVM and you want that quality of ride, control, adjustability. Go to one of our dealers. A lot of them have 300s for demos to try. I challenge you to go and test drive it and compare it to what else is out there.